Unit 2, Data Collection. For our data collection, we plan to first interview our informants. Following the interview, we will then observe the informants in a setting in which the informant and practitioner have agreed is appropriate. In order to establish credibility and trustworthiness throughout the data collection, we will thoroughly record the responses of the informants without judgment. We will explain to the informants the rights that they possess as informants, such as the fact these individuals are allowed a transcript of the interview if requested.
Through our thorough interviews with our informants, an analysis of the artifacts that we have garnered, and our conducted observations, we will effectively triangulate our sources in order to confirm our data and employ various research methods in an attempt to support our primary research question. Consequently, through the triangulation of our sources, we will be able to enhance the credibility of our action research.
Each practitioner will interview the parent or guardian of a motivated reader from a different age and grade level. Practitioner Marissa DiMartino will interview the mother of a motivated reader who's currently enrolled in elementary school. Practitioner Dina Veltri will interview the mother of the motivated reader who's currently enrolled in middle school. And practitioner Ron Algadi will interview the mother of a motivated reader who's currently enrolled in high school. All interviews will be conducted in a formal and semi-structured setting in order to provide the informant with a level of comfort during the interview and observation process. Through this structure, the practitioners will be able to garner more data regarding the patterns that can be found among the value placed by parents on early literacy experiences and its relationship to student motivation in sustaining independent reading.
According to the text, Interviewing as Qualitative Research by Irving Seidman, we have selected our informants, gained consent, and contacted them prior to our interview and observation. Our selected informants did not have to be persuaded to participate and were not too eager to be interviewed. When gaining consent, the practitioners ensured that we were utilizing the 8 major parts of informed consent. Our informants were not only contacted prior to our visit, but they were also given a brief introduction. We then conducted the interviews in person. With that being said, all interview questions are not only open-ended, but they also focus on past experiences, present experiences, and future experiences.
According to Seidman, phenomenological interviewing involves conducting a series of 3 separate interviews with each participant. Interview 1, focus life history, past. Interview 2, the details of experience, present. Interview 3, reflection on the meaning, future. Although we will not be interviewing our informants on 3 separate occasions, we will be employing an abridged form of this model in our interviews. In other words, our interview questions will contain approximately 3 to 4 questions that reflect the 3 interview series, the informant's past, present, and future.
Interview guide, focus life history. Number 1, tell me about your educational background and literacy experiences. Number 2, explain how your home environment is conducive to reading. Is there easy access to texts? Is there a place dedicated for quiet reading? How accessible is technology in your home? Number 3, explain the value placed on reading at home in your child's early years. Number 4, describe the ways in which you motivated your child to succeed in school in his or her early years.
Interview guide, the details of experience. Number 1, describe how you engage your child is with the text that he or she reads. How does your child not only focus on the information presented in the text, but also comprehend what he or she is reading? How are you as a parent cognizant of his or her reading comprehension? 2, how does your child overcome challenges while reading? For example, what does he or she do when encountering language that he or she may not be familiar with? 3, how does your child generally react to assigned or required school reading across various subject areas? And number 4, what do you believe motivates your child to read? Why do you believe this to be true?
Interview guide, reflection on the meaning. Number 1, given that you believe that your child is or is not motivated to read, what do you believe that you can do to help support him or her in becoming a more motivated reader in the future? Number 2, what do you believe are some useful resources that you may utilize to help increase his or her motivation to read in the future? 3, When thinking about the future, why do you believe it is important for your child to be motivated to read? And 4, if you are able to go back in time and change some aspect in how you supported your child's literacy journey, what would it be and why?
The observation process. We are formally observing both the parents and the motivated readers engage in the reading process before, during, and after reading. We will observe, interact, track patterns, and analyze the data that we have garnered while taking field notes and making connections on what the parent shared in the interview with what we observed. The practitioner will receive written consent from the parent or guardian prior to the observation. Furthermore, all observation notes will adhere to the note-taking protocol outlined by Carolyn Frank in her text, Ethnographic Eyes, A Teacher's Guide to Classroom Observation. All observations will be formal, participant observations in order to gain better insight into the relationship between parental involvement in early literacy experiences and intrinsic motivation to read.
Artifacts. The practitioners will be collecting the following artifacts in order to effectively triangulate our sources. Artifact number 1 is the reading level of the student as compared to the average student reading levels in his or her grade and school. Artifact number 2 is the student's reading log that he or she kept to track novels read throughout the academic school year. Artifact 3 is the summer reading assignment that the student will be required to complete. Triangulation, as defined by Anderson in Studying Your Own School, is using different sources of data, multiple participants, and multiple perspectives, different methods of data gathering, or different researchers or collaborators to provide varying angles on the research question. Thus, these artifacts will be analyzed in order to enhance the credibility of our action research. Artifact number 1. The artifact for informant number 1 contains the benchmark reading levels for different reporting periods throughout the school year for grades K through 8. On report cards, number 1 needs improvement, 2 with support, 3 on grade level, 4 above grade level. Since informant number 1's child just completed grade 3 and she is reading on a level R, this artifact shows that she is reading above grade level. Level R is considered on grade level from November to March of grade 4.
Artifact number 2. The artifact for informant number 2 is a reading log that the student possessed and maintained throughout his grade 6 school year. The student's reading log serves as an example of his reading achievements, ability, and intrinsic motivation to read. These books were read as independent choice novel and were not required by the school or teacher. The student met his personal reading goal of 100 books read by the end of the grade 6 school year.
Artifact number 3. The artifact for informant number 3 is the optional summer reading assignment provided by the school district. Students who completed the assignment will receive extra credit in the fall by their English language arts teachers. The district has moved towards an optional summer reading assignment in an attempt to cultivate a love of reading in all students who may be more inclined to read when he or she may complete an assignment on a novel of his or her choosing.